It is an honor, ma'am, to have you with us, especially in remembering the legacy and contributions of Metropolitan Dr. Paulos Gregorius. And we heartily welcome you to this interview series. We are almost concluding this 100 interview series. We are on the verge of the conclusion, and so happy that we have a distinguished personality like you amidst in this interview series. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank
Ma'am,
you
can we
very
begin?
much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm
Yes,
delighted
ma'am.
to talk about somebody I honored greatly and I have fond memories of. Please begin.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, kindly share your personal reminiscences about Bishop Dr. Paulos Mar Gregorius, especially in your association with your late father, General Adi Sadan.
Thank you. My personal reminiscences of Bishop Dr. Paulus Mar Gregorius are deeply intertwined, as you said, with my late father, General Adi Setna, who held him in great respect. I recall their interactions as being very happy interactions, but with intellectual depth, and both of them understood what each other wanted to do. Bishop Mark Gregorius was a man of profound spirituality, a very compassionate nature, and what was very wonderful, I'm talking of a long time ago, an openness to interfaith dialogue. As far as I personally remember, there was an interfaith meeting at the Apostolic Union Kecha at the Embassy of the Vatican City in Chanakyapuri, Delhi. This is around 1987, as far as I remember, when General Setna had become president of the Delhi Parsi Anjuman. Now, that was the first time I met Mark Gregorius, and my father and he worked together for many years. There was a group of people who were working together for interfaith, for starting interfaith dialogues in India. Dr. Karan Singh, who was my father's junior at school in the Doon School, Dr. L.M. Singhvi, Rabbi Malekar, and such other members of the Temple of Understanding India chapter. And though Bishop Dr. Paulus Mar Gregorius was not part of the TOU, he talked to each person individually and at meetings where we were together to give an idea of what I would call compassionate leadership for each of their communities. Now, they talked about consensus building, they talked about reforms for all minority communities, and the interesting thing, and for what we are very grateful as a community, is that His Holiness wanted to create awareness of the tiny Parsi community in the then developing NCR. In the whole NCR region, we have never been more than about 500 people. And later on, my father, as you may know, became thrice the member of the National Commission for Minorities, and that ended only with his death in 2006. Another thing I remember they spoke about was Ethiopia. Now, my father was on General Vadalia's team, which went to Ethiopia around the time I was born, 1959, 1960. I don't have the exact dates, but we have photographs of my father with Emperor Haile Selassie the First and the lions, of course. And because Bishop Mar Gregorius had spent so much time in Ethiopia and was highly respected by the Emperor Haile Selassie, they used to discuss things and talk about that. And that was very interesting to me as an individual. Uh, I think what is the sweetest thing I remember about Bishop Mark Gregorius is that I was getting married in 1986, and just so kindly he told my father, and he gave me a little pamphlet which I've been looking for this interview, but I couldn't find. A little pamphlet which he had written as advice to young people starting a life together. So these are all personal reminiscences, and they are very close to my heart. So I'm happy to share them.
Uh, Ma'am, in what ways you may help us understand the personality of Ma Grigoris, especially in relation to interreligious meetings, conferences, or his work towards a harmonious and respecting culture among religions?
Okay, I from the first time I saw him at Chanakya Puri, he stood out among the interfaith groups because he had those beautiful robes, he had his headdress, so his looks and personality stood out most vividly to anybody in an interfaith meeting. The second point was he was very learned. People forget how learned he was. He possessed deep knowledge on all faith traditions. He had a very rare ability to listen carefully while other people were talking about their faiths, and he spoke with great, let me say, conviction and humility about his own faith. So I think these were very important. I remember we all worked together at a conference. Now, I'm not very sure of the year, but this was the religion and conservation movement, which had been initiated by, of course, the Assisi declarations. And I'm talking of years before you were probably born, even. But the World Wildlife Fund for Nature held a conference at the Sorabji Godrej, Firosha Godrej Center in Lodi Road. And that was when the Dalai Lama planted a tree and all that happened. And that was the time when ecology came into the interfaith movement, and the Assisi declaration, much before the world realized and began talking of climate change, the Assisi declaration had already seen this. And so what happened was that Bishop Mark Gregorius was heavily involved with these dialogues regarding not just theology and science, but how theology and science could interact to save this one earth. And in this way, he was almost a precursor to what His Holiness the Dalai Lama has been talking about now for so many years. The other thing was that Bishop Mark Gregorius understood India's diversity, and he felt it was a very important teaching point to young people. I was then quite young, and I was just starting to work on the interfaith movement. Today, thanks to my father and thanks to all the mentors I had, like Bishop Gregorius, I am a trustee of the Temple of Understanding and the founder director of the Parzor Foundation, created by UNESCO for the promotion of Parsi Zoroastrian culture and heritage.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. As you rightly mentioned about the involvement of ecology in the discussions of interreligious meetings and dialogues, I personally wanted to know the ecological wisdom from the Zoroastrian way of life. Can you share that?
Sure. Basically, the Zoroastrian way of life, it's a very ancient Bronze Age religion. It's parallel, Zarathustra's dates are parallel to the time of the Rig Veda, about 1600 BCE. So, any ancient religion is rooted in ecology. Now, basically, in Zoroastrianism, everybody knows about the fire temple, but our reverence is reverence for all aspects of life. So there is a reverence for nature. We call creation, this natural creation, spenta. Spenta means bountiful. It means holy. So even if you are, when you wake up in the morning, before you put your foot on the ground, you touch the earth and you raise your hand to just say thank you to Mother Earth, Spenta Almighty, for allowing you to step on her and use her. Now, central to our Zoroastrian concept of ecology is the maintenance of purity in all the elements. We believe in seven elements. the earth, water, fire, plants, animal, man, and air. And we believe that the spiritual and the material forms of creation combine. It is not that this earth is negative. It is a very positive feeling towards the earth, which is why Zoroastrianism has been called by Professor Mary Boyce the world's first ecological religion. Now, what we see in this material and spiritual creation is the concept of the guardians or Amesha Spentas who link this world and the hereafter. Aura Mazda, our one intangible God, is his name Ahura Mazda literally means light and wisdom. And if I want to explain it simply, the Amesha Spenta, like the seven colors of the rainbow, who guard each element and together, as we know from physics, form the white light of Aura Mazda, which is the guardian of all creation. The second point is humility. Human beings are not the apex, they are not the owners of creation, they are the custodians of the natural world. And practices and our teachings and our rituals emphasize humility, responsible living, avoiding pollution of earth, water, anything, and preserving, most important, the balance of creation. And as you can see, this is becoming so important as we face air pollution and water pollution and all the problems we have today. So, this is a combination of respect for nature and humility in the light of this gorgeous creation.
Ma'am, my concluding question. Ma'am, what is the Parsi Zoroastrian approach to interreligious cooperation or harmony?
Okay. Basically, the Parsi Zoroastrian. Remember, Zoroastrianism is a religion. Okay, Zarathustra was a prophet of Iran. We came as refugees in the 8th or 9th century AD, ACE to India. So the Parsis, then the people who came from Pars or Fars in Iran, became part of the Indian system 1,000 years ago. The Parsi Zoroastrian approach to interreligious harmony is first of all based on respect for every faith. And that is in the Zarathustra's own songs, the Gathas. You respect the Fravashis, you respect the souls of every person, you respect the wisdom of every person, every part of creation. Secondly, it is respect. Secondly, it is coexistence. And in India, it is non proselytization. We promised the Raja of Sanjan, Jadi Rana, that we would mingle like sugar in the milk, but we would stay under the radar. We would not convert, which is why our fire temples say open to Zoroastrians or open to Parsi Zoroastrians only. In Iran, anyone can go into a fire temple. In India, we have kept our promise. The other thing is that basically it's an ancient faith, so it's realized the importance of living peacefully but maintaining one's own identity. So we don't do it outwardly. Okay, we don't wear outwardly, we have no appearance which is different. In the old days, yes, we wore a cap at home, etc. But now what we do is under our clothes, we wear a white muslin shirt, the sudra, and we wear a kasti or girdle. The sadra has a small pocket of good deeds, the kisse kerfa, which we have to fill with one good deed every day. So outwardly we blend, we wear the sari because that was one of our promises to Jadi Rana. We gave up the Persian language, we adopted Gujarati, and then we made it into Parsi Gujarati, which is a dialect. So we've kept our promises of becoming outwardly totally Indian, but keeping the essence of our faith and the essence of this symbolism underneath. So it is inward core religious strength, but outward living harmoniously, inwardly remembering your identity, outwardly and inwardly respecting everybody else's identity. So basically, we have Parsi Zoroastrians in India have integrated harmoniously They have contributed far beyond their numbers. Right now, we're down to about 55,000 people. So we've contributed to the broader society. Now, for interreligious dialogue, one of our people was there at Assisi. Our high priests have traveled over the world. They've studied in Copenhagen, in London, in Cambridge, in Oxford, in America, Colombia especially. So we have dialogue, we have mutual respect, and most important, we have a shared civic responsibility to the interfaith movement wherever it may be in the world. So this sense of responsibility towards creating harmony is something very, very important for us.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable insights and your personal relation with the Metropolitan Dr. Paulos Gregorius. We are very honored to have you.
I think that what you all have done is wonderful. People forget those who have passed on, and sadly, people do not remember that we stand on the shoulders of those who have gone before. Y'all have done a wonderful interview series over several years, and you have gathered from the greatest to a small person like me. I am extremely appreciative of the effort to document, because with the UNESCO Parzo project, I understand how important it is to document voices and to document faces that go with the voices. It's not the same when you just write it down. And our new generation only loves these videos and Instagram and things like that. So for them to understand, and they're longing for understanding, I think what you have done by audiovisual methods and by using modern technology like the Zoom interview is absolutely wonderful. Congratulations. And I look forward to seeing the release of the entire series. Thank you very, very much.